name is Jasmine and I make content on veterinary, fitness and lifestyle. So if you're interested in that, please could you like and subscribe. So I just wanted to make a video about motivation and building a routine, because I'm so happy that I have built this routine that I have, and I just love it so much, as I really didn't think it would be possible when starting this job that I have, because of the long hours and like the long days. However, it is possible, and I just wanted to share that with you. So if you're thinking, oh, you can't do something because you don't have enough time, I feel like there always is time. I didn't feel like this before, but now I do. So I work 10 hours a day, and I just thought, how am I going to go to the gym? How am I going to have some relaxation time? How am I going to do anything? And although I still feel like it's a bit of a squeeze, just a tad of a squeeze, I'm still able to do it. So first I'm going to touch on motivation. Motivation is an amazing thing when you have it. It's like this driving force that allows us to do the things that we want to do. However, you're not always going to feel motivated. I know everyone has had the moment where you're like, okay, that's it. I'm gonna do this. I'm doing it. Tomorrow, I'm gonna get up and do blah, 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 whatever you want to do. And it's like that burst of motivation that you just feel good and you're like, yes, I'm gonna do this. But sometimes it's just hard to keep that going. So one way to combat this is to set a specific goal that you want to achieve and then break that down into small manageable chunks. I feel like when you have that burst of motivation, that's when you want to get planning. Like, I just find it so fun planning, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I wanna do this, I wanna do that. And I feel like when you have that motivation, that is a good time to write down everything that you want to do and then break it down into how you're gonna do it and make them into more manageable chunks, because then you'll have a clear idea of what you want to do and then what you need to do to get there. So when the time comes the next day when you've got to start doing what you planned doing yesterday, you might feel a little less motivated because, you know, that burst of motivation is gone. But when you look at your plan that you made and it's broken down into small pieces, then you can probably accomplish them easier than if you just have a one big goal of, tomorrow I'm gonna run a marathon. Like, no, you're not. I feel like keeping a positive attitude no matter what can also help when things get difficult. So say one day you're lacking in this motivation, don't be negative about it. Just think, okay, I feel less willing to do this task that I've set myself out to do, but I'm not gonna let that set me back. I'm going to do this instead. It's hard when you're talking about imaginables. Another way to sustain motivation is to reward yourself. Have little rewards along the way. So I'm going to use an example of trying to run a half marathon. Obviously, you're not going to get up and be like, I'm going to run a half marathon tomorrow. So maybe after 1 week, if you've done a run, any run, even if it's a short run, 10-minute run, you can reward yourself with maybe a new running jacket, or going out to a nice restaurant, or just something fun, you know. It can literally be anything, just something that you're looking forward to, so that you can be like, okay, if I complete this week, then I get to have this, then I get to do this, you know. It's something to look forward to. So you just have to power through, do what you need to do, and then you get a reward. And I feel like if you have a long goal, or if you have a goal that's going to take a while to achieve, then you need to break down and have small rewards throughout the time. Otherwise, the goal is just going to seem so far away and your motivation is definitely going to decrease. What helps my motivation is to surround myself with positive people that are doing the things that I want to be doing. For example, I have my fitness Instagram and I follow loads of fitness pages. And when I see some of those people posting on their stories that they're in the gym or that they've just gone for a run, I'm like, oh, I should be doing that. Like, I want to be like you. Like, that's what motivates me when I see someone who's just, it's pouring with rain outside and they've posted on their story, they've just done a 5K run. And I'm like, oh, damn. I just want to be like you, you know? So when I watch things like that, I feel like I'm inspired and I'm like, okay, yeah, I can do it. Not always, of course, not always. Sometimes I'm like, ugh, why can't I do that? And I guess sometimes that can be a negative, but most of the time for me, it's not. I'm inspired. So now let's move on to building a routine. When you're building a routine, you need to think, what's your main priority? What do you want to get done no matter what? You just have to make it your top priority, because if it's not, then you're just gonna be like, I can do that another time. But if it's something that you want to do, for example, if you want to stretch every day, then make that a non-negotiable. Like, find a YouTube video that's 5-10 minutes that you can actually do, because if you, for example, find like a 30-minute video, you're less likely going to do a 30-minute stretching video than a 10-minute. So once you find out your top priorities, write that down and just know that you're going to do it no matter what. Next, you need to create a schedule. You need to plan out your ideal day, what you're going to do specifically in each hour. And then you can also plan out your day if something happens, such as you've had a bad day at work and you just can't be bothered to do whatever you need to do. Write out that day as well and how you'll manage it. So prioritize the tasks that you definitely want to do and set them in your schedule earlier in the day. So if there's anything that you're able to do before you start your day, for example, for me, I need to schedule the gym before I go to work, because I don't want to go to the gym after work. It's too hard, and because I already know that it's too hard and I'm easily going to be able to not go, I just know that I need to put it at the beginning of my day to get it over and done with. You need to try to stick to this routine, this schedule, as closely as possible until it becomes a normal thing for you. And then you can regularly assess the routine and change things around if you think that you need to. Start small, because it's better to do less consistently than to have big goals and big tasks that you need to do and you only do it for a short amount of time. You can put reminders on your phone to make sure that you do things, because I know sometimes when I have a lot of things to do, I can actually do them. It's just I kind of forget that I was meant to do it. So one of my goals is actually stretching, and sometimes the whole day will go by and it's not that I don't want to do it, it's just the day has passed and I'm already in bed and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I wanted to do some stretching, but it's gone. I mean, I guess I could always get out of bed and do it, but you know, that's hard. You could find an accountability partner, because sometimes things are just easier when you have someone doing it with you, someone with the same vision, same goal, and can help you when you're feeling like you don't want to do something, and then vice versa, you can help them when they feel like they don't want to do it. Now I'm gonna have my breakfast, which is some tea and these breakfast bars, and then I will be off to work. I'll speak to you later. this in my setup because it is cold up here. Like, they have this old heater. Okay, so there's this old heater here, and you have to do this, but I can't turn it on. It's not working for me today, but usually it is warm. So I have to have this little heater here. Got my chicken salad. So I've just finished my lunch and I was chilling for a bit, and now I have about 20 more minutes before having to go back down to do consults because they start at 2 o'clock. I'm actually going to go down a bit earlier because the first consult might be a euthanasia, so a bit sad. So I want to be prepared. So while I'm here, we can talk a bit about self-discipline. Now, I know it just feels good when you have the motivation and everything to achieve your goals, to do something, but sometimes you're just literally not going to have the motivation. For example, at 4:20 when my alarm rings, is my motivation there all the time? No, it is not. I'm telling you, it is not. So I need to have some self-discipline, and this hasn't come easy, it hasn't come overnight. You'll have to build up to it, but in the end it'll be worth it. And the self-discipline needs to be there when the motivation is not, because motivation isn't going to be there all the time. Trust me on that one. And I'm sure you already know. One thing that can help with the self-discipline is if you set measurable goals for yourself, because I know that even if I can't be bothered to do something, if I see that it's making a difference, then I'm more likely to want to keep going. For example, I weighed myself this morning and I've lost 0.6 of a pound or something, and even though that's a tiny amount, I'm like, yay, I'm gonna keep going, because every little thing builds and builds until I reach my final goal. I'm so sorry, it's very noisy outside, but I'm at work. Yeah, so if you have a goal that you can actually measure progress, then that will help you stay focused. It would also help if you build a routine and make it a habit. Once it's a habit, you're going to do it. The same as waking up, brushing your teeth, waking up, having a shower. It's just natural. So once you build the habit, once you keep doing it over and over and over and over again, even if you don't want to do it, you'll just get up and do it. I guess it can kind of mean like you have to go to work. You just have to. So you're gonna go. Same way as whatever your goal is, just make it as something that you have to do. I feel like visualization can also help with self-discipline, because I visualize myself at the end, like the end of my goal. I can see it, I can feel it, and that just pushes me through sometimes when it's so hard to do what I need to do. So just have an image of what you want to achieve, and that can give you that extra push to do what you need to do beforehand to achieve it. Well, I have to go back down now and prepare for my next consult, but I will see you soon.